Que él es parte del Canadian Hall of Fame, este organismo máximo que pueden llegar los conferencistas profesionales en su país. Por eso, amigos, con una conferencia que ha diseñado para este evento, que le llama la Aventura del Cambio y que nos pretenderá retar en cómo innovar, prosperar y tener éxito en un mundo rápidamente cambiante y turbulento, les pido por favor que me ayuden a recibir con un muy fuerte aplauso a nuestro buen amigo Donald Cooper. Welcome aboard, Donald.
Gracias, Mauricio. Hola. Buenos dias. Just barely buenos dias. Thank you for having me with you to talk about the adventure of change. I have many speaker friends who talk about change, and they talk about coping with change, struggling with change. They make change sound like a disease. So I would rather talk about the adventure of change and how to innovate and thrive in this fast-changing and turbulent world. See, the truth is that change is natural, inevitable, and unstoppable. Change is all of those things. And in fact, Mexico didn't exist back in these days. There is no Mexico. There is North America, South America. Right next to Africa, no Mexico. Continental drift. The world has always changed. It will always change. So why don't we embrace change as an adventure instead of seeing it as a disease that we have to try to cope with? See, I think the best way to thrive in an uncertain future is to create the future. When it comes to change, when it comes to innovation, there are only 3 positions open and available. You can be the architect of change, number 1. Number 2, you can embrace the change created by others. Or number 3, you can be the victim of change. That's it, 1, 2, 3. Be the architect of change, embrace the change created by others, or be the victim of change. Choose one. Every industry is changing. I work in 40 different industries around the world, and I've been doing this work for 23 years. Every industry is changing. Here's Invisalign. Invisalign is an American company that reinvented braces. Anybody of you had braces when you were young on your teeth? Wire braces? And you had to put wax on the little metal pieces because they cut your mouth on the inside? I mean, look at this kid is not having fun with braces. And Invisalign, a company in the United States that never made the traditional wire braces, came up with these molded plastic trays, no pain, $5,000 for the set of 10 or 12 trays. It's much less of the dentist's time. I had impacted wisdom teeth when I was in my late 20s, and I had them removed surgically. And these wisdom teeth were growing forward, and they pushed my front teeth together. And at 28 years of age, my dentist said I was too old for braces, meaning this kind. But at the age of 68, 6 years ago, at the age of 68, a different dentist told me that I was the perfect age for braces. Or he needed a new BMW. I'm not sure which. So I actually went for this $5,000 program of clear plastic trays, and I did speeches. I did 90-minute, half-day, full-day speeches with the trays in, no problem, nobody knew, no pain. And he's got a BMW. It's good news. So every industry is changing. One of the most respected furniture companies, upholstered furniture companies in America, is a company called Rowe Furniture. And most of the furniture that they build, sofas and Chesterfields, are custom made, custom sizes, custom fabrics. And the industry standard is 6 to 8 weeks, but the truth is it's really 12 weeks to make and deliver this. And the retailers were fed up, the consumers were fed up, and Rowe made a commitment to the 2-week sofa. They said, we're going to be famous for the 2-week sofa. We're going to reinvent the industry. And they adopted lean manufacturing techniques. Anyone here using lean principles, lean manufacturing, or other process techniques in your business? If you're not, look into it, make a note. Lean is fabulous. And don't be lean and mean, by the way. Be lean and kind. Where's this lean and mean stuff? American businesses talk about being lean and mean. We want our customers to buy twice as much. We want our staff to work twice as hard. We want our suppliers to service twice as diligently, and we're going to achieve all of that by being bastards, by being mean. Where did lean and mean ever come from? What about lean and kind? It doesn't rhyme. Get over it. Anyway, they adopted these lean practices, and they actually succeeded in creating the 2-week sofa. And while all their competitors were closing down because production was moving to China, you're never going to get a custom sofa from China in 2 weeks, and Rowe kept an American business alive by rethinking and daring to defy logic. Speaking of China, I don't know how many of you read recently, but this Chinese developer built a 57-story office and residential tower, a skyscraper, 57 stories high in 19 days. Took us 13 months to renovate 2 rooms in our condo in Toronto. What is this? 19 days. Because they completely changed the approach to building buildings. And all the modules were built in a factory and they have 4 cranes. They work day and night. And they worked 4 cranes, and they assembled this thing. Finished it in 19 days, 57 stories. Industrial construction. And what about residential construction? Another Chinese company. They're 3D printing modules and bringing them on site and assembling 6 modules to make a beautiful villa in under 3 hours. They're 3D printing these modules out of industrial and agricultural waste material. This is innovation. This is brilliant. This is changing the whole dynamic of every industry that we're in. And the cost of building this beautiful villa is $480 US dollar equivalent, which is 1/10 of the traditional cost of construction. And it will withstand an earthquake to 0.9. Even toilet plungers. It doesn't have to be huge buildings or whatever. Everything is being transformed. This is the traditional toilet plunger. It's what we've had for years. It's made of rubber and wood. And all of a sudden, a company that's in the blow molding business, in the plastics business, decided they could make a better toilet plunger, and this is it. It costs less to make. They sell it for more because it works better. And the company that made this never made one of those, and this company says, what the hell happened? Every product, every business. Look at Costco. Whoever would have thought that a business could succeed, a retail business could succeed, charging you to come in the door. You have to pay to get in. That's a different business model. And all the things they do. They're selling caskets. A casket that would cost $12,000 at a funeral home in America, and they're selling the thing for $1,600. That's disruptive. That's incredibly disruptive. And if you order the casket online by 11 o'clock in the morning, they will deliver it that day by 6 p.m. to the funeral home of your choice. Car rentals. I rented a car through Costco. $236 Canadian to rent it directly. $180 through Costco. Changing everything. The largest seller of tires and rims in North America is now a website, not a tire store, not an automotive dealership. It's a website, TireRack.com. And TireRack.com, the largest seller of tires and rims in North America, has formed partnerships with local repair garages. So you order these tires and rims online, they ship them to a garage, a repair garage near you. They phone you when the tires arrive. You take your car in, they install them. They charge you a little bit of money. You save a lot of money. But here's the thing. I do a lot of work in the tire industry, speaking for tire retailers. And you know what they all say about TireRack.com? Unfair competition. You know what unfair competition means? Somebody else did something wonderful, we didn't, and we're ticked off. That's it. You did, we didn't, we're pissed. That's it. That's what unfair competition is. They did, we didn't. Oops. Every industry. Kyocera, a Japanese company that makes printers and scanners and things for offices. Kyocera just announced last month that they are buying up some of the 600 abandoned golf courses in Japan and are going to transform them into solar farms. Do you know there are 600 abandoned golf courses in Japan alone? 600 in a pretty small place. Golf is in trouble. Golf's in trouble. You know, a golf course closes in America every 48 hours. That's disruptive. Because there are fundamental changes going on in our society. Managing a business, growing a business is more work and more time than it ever was. And so business people don't have as much time to play golf. And besides, young business people want to be better fathers and better husbands, and that's a good thing. And they don't have time for golf. And when I speak in the golf industry, which I do fairly often, my opening line is this. Boy, it's amazing what you guys have done in the last 10 years. You have been so busy creating new golf courses that you forgot to create any new golfers. Big trouble. So, things that are abandoned are being recycled, being rejuvenated into new and wonderful things. Here's one of my most important business insights, and that is that there are two levels to improving your business. Two levels. Look at the gray box at the bottom, down at the bottom. That's where you are now in your business. Wherever that is, that's where you are now, that gray box. The first level of business improvement is, where could you be by copying the best? The best in the world. The best in the world. And do you even know who the best in the world is at what you do? And if you don't, shame on you. Where could you be by copying the best? Who is the best? What could you learn from them about value creation, about process, about efficiency, about being extraordinary? So that's level number one. Level number two of business improvement. This is the wonderful sweet spot here. Where could you be in your business? By doing what has never been done before. Oh, that's a little more work, isn't it? But that's the great place to be. Where could you be in your business? By doing what you've never done before, what has never been done in your industry. And when we sold Cooper Sporting Goods for a number of strategic and family reasons, and I accidentally became a retailer of ladies' fashions. And I had no experience with ladies' fashions. Well, buttons the odd time, but I'd never bought ladies' clothing. I'd never sold ladies. I had no experience. So I sat down and I thought and felt what it was like to be a woman buying clothing. I got in touch with my feminine side. What's the sign on the front door of every ladies' clothing store? No food or drinks. Buzz off. You know, we're all in the hospitality business. We're all in the hospitality business. Buzz off. No, just no food or drinks. So I built a beautiful big wooden drink bar, and I serve 7 kinds of tea and 2 kinds of coffee, 2 kinds of fruit drink and spring water, fresh water, and real mugs, help yourself, no charge. And our competitors went nuts. They went nuts. They said, you can't do that. Why not? Second sign in every ladies' clothing store. It's on the change rooms. Limit 3 items in the change room. It's just stupid. You take 3 in, the most you can buy is 3. You know what we did? We put up a different sign. It said, please take as many items in the change room as you wish. And then we put a security tag on everything because we're nice, we're not stupid. I'm not asking anyone to be stupid, but nice would be really good. Because whatever you sell, people come to you for that plus joy. Whatever you sell, they come to you for that plus joy. Groceries, food plus joy, new car plus joy, life insurance plus joy. Whatever you sell, plus joy. Every market is overserved and underdifferentiated. Write that one down because that is the biggest problem in every industry today. Every business, every industry, every market is overserved and underdifferentiated. There are too many mediocre businesses selling stuff that looks alike, sounds alike, priced alike. And the world does not need one more mediocre anything. And when a market is so competitive, joy could actually be your sustainable competitive advantage. So we said, please take as many items in the change room as you wish, and women took 27 items in the change room and usually bought 23 of them. Big idea. And then we had electric reclining massage chairs for husbands all around the store. And we had a pirate ship play area for kids, because what I figured out is you have to get the kid off the leg. A lady cannot try on a pair of pants in a change room with a child stuck to her leg, screaming to go home. You got to get the kid off the leg. And our competitor said, it's her kid and it's her leg, it's her problem. I said, no, I want to sell the pants. It's my problem. I'll get the kid off the leg. I spent $54,000 to build a pirate ship play area in the center of the store to get the kid off the leg. And I walked by the pirate ship one day, and I overheard a 5-year-old say to his mother, Mommy, can we live here? And I know your business is different, but the question is always the same. Do our customers want to live with us? Do they want to keep coming back? So what could you do that's never been done before? Our customer washrooms had change tables with 3 sizes of free diapers, diaper wipes, and cream. And no store in the world did that. And our competitor said, oh, some women will steal a diaper. Get a grip. If they need a diaper that badly, God help them. So, what could you do? to move your business forward by copying the best in the world, level number one. Level number two, what could you do that has never been done before? I do a lot of business coaching, and when I work with clients, I ask them a question. I say, why do you do what you do, how you do it, and where you do it? Why do you do what you do, how you do it, and where you do it? And their answers all have to do with history, not with current realities or future possibilities. They are living in the past. Oh, we do this because of some historical reason. We do it here where we do it for some historical reason. It's all about history. And just ask yourself that question about your business. Why do you do what you do, how you do it, and where you do it? And if your answer sounds a lot more like history than current realities and future events, your business is in trouble. So how do we turn change into an adventure? A very simple shift in thinking. Because most businesses define themselves by what they sell and by how and where they've always done business. It's all about them, and it's all about yesterday. But if they would simply redefine their business by how they help people, it changes everything. My example is ice boxes. I don't know about here, but in Canada, when I was young, we had a summer cottage up on a lake, and we had an ice box, and you had to go in the car on a hot summer day to the ice house down the road, and they chipped off a chunk of ice, and you put it in the trunk of the car and rushed home before it melted. So I remember we had a refrigerator in our home in the city, but up at the cottage, this camp on a lake, we had an ice box. Well, it's interesting about the icebox business because the companies that made ice boxes in the early 1900s made a lot of money. Everybody needed an ice box. But the interesting thing is that they all went bankrupt. They all went out of business because they defined themselves by what they made and by how and where they've always done business. They said, we're in the icebox business, sink or swim. And all they had to do was redefine themselves by how they help people. It is this simple. We are in the business of helping people make food last longer. What are you in the business of helping people to do? Because you see, people didn't always need ice boxes, but people will always need food to last longer. And let's say for the sake of a story that my grandfather made ice boxes, my father made refrigerators, and I, the third generation in the family, am passionately working to perfect irradiation technology to bring healthy, safe, and abundant food to the 80% of the world's population that cannot afford refrigeration from farm to table as we do in our blessed society. Because 80% of the people on this planet live in cultures and climates and economies that cannot afford refrigeration from farm to table. And besides, refrigeration doesn't make food last forever. Milk still spoils in a refrigerator. It just takes a bit longer. But irradiation, if we could perfect this, irradiation kills the bacteria and the food will last forever. So let's say that my family, my grandfather made ice boxes, my father made refrigerators, and I'm the third generation passionately committed to helping people make food last longer. And if I could pull that off and bring healthy, safe, and abundant food to 80% of the world's population, could I make a buck or two? Do you think I could be successful? Absolutely. Second question, could I be significant? Could I make a difference? Because my definition of success is anything we do that makes a difference in our life. And significance is anything we do that makes a difference in the lives of others. And our journey should be about creating both success and significance, I think. And so how could you define your business not by what you sell and by how you've always done business, but by how you help people? And then ask a couple of really simple, powerful questions. What kind of help? will they need in the future? And number two question, how are we going to deliver that help better than anybody else? I do a lot of work in the mortgage industry in North America, and I sit down with the CEO after they've booked me, and I sit down to interview the president, and I say, what business are you in? We sell mortgages. Yeah, everybody wants 6 of those, right? Mortgages are on sale this week. Take 6 of them. No. And I asked them, what would your business sound like, look like, if you defined it not by what you sell, but by how you help people? And it would sound like this. We are in the business of helping people to buy a home and to own that home mortgage-free as quickly, conveniently, and inexpensively as possible. That's a mortgage company that would connect with you, with your mind and your heart. But people say, you know, what's the point of even trying? There's no such thing as customer loyalty anymore. It's the biggest myth in business today. There's no such thing as customer loyalty anymore. Because the truth is, we're all desperately searching for businesses to be loyal to, because it is disruptive to our life to change suppliers of anything. So while every customer is desperately searching for businesses to be loyal to, every business is saying there's no such thing as loyalty anymore. It's just not true. It's a lie we tell ourselves. So here's the truth. People are loyal to what's best for them or what they assume is best for them. People are loyal to what's best for them or what they assume is best for them. So our job is to do the work. Do the darn work. To be the wise choice. There's a phrase that we love. Are you the wise choice for your target customers? Because if you're not, stop complaining about there's no such thing as loyalty. You haven't earned it yet. Are you the wise choice for your target customers? Will you continue to be the wise choice in a ever and faster changing world? Or will you be stuck in yesterday? Here's another little insight of ours, that if you cannot get specific about your value, you have no value story. Most companies, when they talk about their value proposition, they are so vague and general, it's meaningless. You should do business with us because we're the best. It's the one I hear most all around the world. We're the best. The best at what? It's meaningless. It's irrelevant. Mediocrity is no longer an option. We need to get specific. And here's a parking garage. Here's a parking garage in Germany, a reinvention of the parking garage. It's not a fine-tuning of what a parking garage has always been. It is a complete rethink of what a parking garage could be. It is a silo. It's just, you drive in the bottom, you park your car on the pallet. The pallet shoots your car up and inserts it into a space. But here's the neat thing. Here's the specific value. To build this takes up 80% less space to build this than a regular parking garage. 80% less space. In a crowded city with land costs and land availability scarce, 80% less space, that's a winner. Costs less to build. Every community tight for funding. Costs less to build, retrieves cars faster, better customer service. Takes up 80% less space, costs less to build, retrieves cars faster. 1, 2, 3, ba-boom, 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 and they got you. They've grabbed you. They got you. That's clear and specific, and it's 3. 2 value benefits doesn't convince me yet. 4 starts to confuse me. There's some magic human thing to 3. 3 seems just about right. Here's another company that understands who they are. You know, so many businesses tell me, you know, we don't seem to communicate effectively with our customers. And I say, the problem is you don't know who you are. And if you don't know who you are, how can your customers know who you are? Hotwire.com knows who they are. Their slogan is 4-star hotels at 2-star prices. That's what they do. You want a 5-star hotel at a 3-star price? Buzz off. We don't do that. You want a 2-star hotel at a 1-star price? We don't do that. Go away. We do 4-star hotels at 2-star. They know who they are. And it's much easier to run the business when you know who you are. And your customers know if you are for them or not. Look at this. Look at this possibility. Look at this incredible beach resort. Yeah, the interesting thing about it is it's in that building in northern Germany. Have a look, folks. That is in that building. And that building was abandoned for 50 years, empty, doing nothing. They used to build the big Zeppelins, the big airships that the one crashed and burned in New Jersey, I think, 50 years ago or something. And they never built another one. And that space sat empty. And some visionary person with some guts. Here's an interesting thought. There's so much talk about creativity and innovation in business today, and certainly this wonderful day is all about that. Lots of talk about creativity, very little talk about courage. And you see, I don't think it makes any sense to have creativity if we do not also have courage. Because if you don't have the courage, you will never actually implement the wonderful, innovative ideas that you come up with. And they'll just die because of a lack of courage. So the truth is that creativity and courage go through life and business hand in hand, and there is no point in having one without the other. Sometimes we just need to look at things from a different angle. I'll let you just think about that one for a minute. Oh, God. And by the way, world class is an attitude, not a location. World class is an attitude, not a location. I don't want to have conversations with people about, oh, we're just in a small community, or we're just in Mexico, or whatever. We can't be world class. That's not true. World class is an attitude, not a location. This business, Schulte Industries, in a town of 250 people in the prairies of Canada, is the world leader in high-performance mowers, rock pickers, and snow blowers. There's not a big need for snow blowers in Mexico. I get it. But the point is, they are the world leader in 3 products, and they're in a town of 250 people. They are the go-to people in the whole world for those 3 things. And the business started in 1912 as a blacksmith shop, founded by a guy who put shoes, metal shoes on horses, and this is where they are today. You think they've innovated a few times? In a town of 250 people. So now let's think about leadership, rethink leadership a little bit, because without leadership, we're never going to innovate. My Grandma Cooper, that's my Grandma Cooper there, apparently. My Grandma Cooper never gave a speech or ran a business, but Grandma understood business leadership when she used to say to our dysfunctional family, which makes us no different from your family, Grandma used to say, we need to get everybody singing from the same hymn sheet. And that's our job as leaders. Our first job as leaders is to get everybody singing from the same hymn sheet. And the problem is, in so many businesses, there is no hymn sheet. There's no clarity. So there is no hymn sheet, but you should all sing from it. Or there is a hymn sheet, but it's a secret hymn sheet seen only by the top 2 people in the company, and they think it's nobody else's business to see the secret hymn sheet. But you should all sing from it. Or we hand out a different hymn sheet to everybody. And you and I work for the same company, and we look over each other's shoulder at our completely different hymn sheet, and we ask the question, what the hell's going on here? And the good people leave in frustration, and the bad people stay and take I don't give a damn pills. Anybody working for you taking I don't give a damn pills before they come to work? Because taking I don't give a damn pills is a coping strategy for people who don't have the courage to leave. You see, in every business, there's only two kinds of employees. There's the promise makers and the promise keepers. We overcomplicate this stuff. There's only promise makers and promise keepers. And who are the promise makers? What is their job? Sales, marketing, and advertising. They're the promise makers, or as we call them, the liars. But anyway, and everyone else in the business is a promise keeper. And the question is, in your business, are the promise makers and the promise keepers singing from the same hymn sheet? So how do we do that? How do we create clarity? We have 5 clarities. This is the first job for every business owner, leader, and manager, to create clarity about 5 things. Number 1, the customer value and experience that you commit to deliver. What do we commit to deliver that makes us extraordinary, that makes us the wise choice? Number 1, what do we commit to deliver? Number 2, what do we commit to become? What's our vision for the future of this business? Number 3, how are we going to get to that vision? What's our operating plan? Number 4, what's the extraordinary bottom line, the profit that we commit to generate? And number 5, how do we commit to behave along the way? What are our values, our ethics, and our standards? So there are 5 clarities. And if you as a business owner, leader, or manager are not clear about those 5 things in your business and your life, who else in your business could possibly be clear about those if you are not? Many business owners and leaders create a vacuum at the top of their own business through a lack of clarity. Don't create a vacuum at the top of your business. And by the way, clarity is also the first step to having a life. Because when you've created these 5 clarities in your business, you do not have to micromanage everybody, and you do not have to be there every minute. Because even when you are physically not there, your clarity is there. When you create clarity, you do not have to be there every minute. You do not have to micromanage. But if you do not create clarity, then you do have to micromanage, and you do have to be there all the time, and you cannot have a life. So clarity could give you a life. So what does a vision look like? Since we're talking here about the adventure of change and what our business needs to look like. And here's what the vision statement looks like in so many businesses around the world that I've worked with. Our vision: we love our customers. We honor the diversity of our staff. God's a nice person. The planet's a great place to hang around. We'll work hard and have fun. Sign the management. How many of you admit to having one of these things hanging on the wall in your office? I mean, it's just, and companies pay $40,000, $50,000 to come up with this stuff. Or they go on a retreat. Look up the word retreat in the dictionary. It means to go backwards. We go on a retreat to figure out how to move forwards. A lot of businesses confuse their vision with their purpose. And every business should have a statement of purpose, but that's not your vision. Here's the name of my fashion store was Alive and Well. And this was our purpose, a four-point purpose. We had a customer purpose. We had an investor purpose. We had an employee purpose and a community purpose. We had 4 clear purposes. How clear are you about your purpose? But that's not your vision. Your vision, and I spent 7 years working on this, 7 years noodling this through, thinking about it, working with clients. And we came up with a vision that is a 1 page, 6 points on 1 piece of paper, a clear and measurable statement about what you commit to become, to be a profitable market leader in 3 to 5 years. What you commit to become, not a goal, not a target, not an aim. Businesses all over the world talk about goals, targets, aims, and objectives. Stop it. Talk about commitments. There's a huge difference between a target and a commitment. A target, by definition, is something we hit sometimes and we miss other times, and it's okay. It's just a target. A commitment is for our soul. It sounds different because it is different. Businesses aim to do this, aim to do that. Stop aiming and start committing. I have a client I'm working with right now doing some coaching. It says on their website, we strive to be ethical. I mean, ethical is like pregnant. You is or you ain't. So here you don't try to read this. This is just to show you that you actually can create a clear one-page, 6-point vision that is our commitment as to what we commit to become. This happens to be for a pizza company that I did work for in the States, and this is all on, you can download all this handout, and you can read this if you want. But anyway, we have a vision critical guide that helps guide you through this if you're interested. But people say to me, Donald, but how can we come up with this clear vision for the future? How can we know the future? Look at this. Psychic fair canceled due to unforeseen circumstances. What is that? So here's what we forget. There's actually two kinds of future. Nobody ever talks about this. There are two kinds of future. There's number one, the future that will happen. There is all the stuff that will happen in the world over which we have no control. And I've listed a few of them there. There's all the stuff over which we have no control. That is future number one, and it's the one we spend all our time thinking about, worrying about, so that we have no time left over to think about future number two, which is the future that you can choose to proactively create. What future do you choose to proactively create in spite of all that other stuff in number one? You can be the architect of change, embrace the change created by others, or be the victim of change. So our future's not a guessing game. Our future's a committing game. It's a fundamental shift in thinking. Your future is not a guessing game. It's a committing game. And by the way, when you have this clear vision for the future of your business, you also know what kind of talent you need to help you get there. Because if you do not have a clear vision for the future of your business as you best understand it is your business as it just was last year. You've received the numbers from your accountant. You've looked at the numbers for last year. You study them. You make up your excuses. And your business, as you best understand it, is your business as it just was. And you go out and hire people for the immediate past instead of hiring talent that can help you get to your committed future. It's a fundamental shift in thinking. So our vision is what we're committed to become in 3 to 5 years. Our mission is what we commit to do each year to get there. And then we create a commitment to action. Who will do what, by when, measured how? That's where so many businesses fall down, just getting on with it. Who will do what, by when, measured how? And you implement and you follow up. And our Vision Critical Guide is 31 pages. It's a guide on how to go through this whole process and create it, and it's available on our website. Businesses don't die from a single shot to the head. They die slowly but surely from 1,000 uncompleted tasks. Got to get on with it. Whenever you assign a project or a task to someone on your team, ask them this simple question: by when can we agree that this will be completed? Changes everything. I worked doing some coaching with a company, two brothers that own a marina that sells boats and place where you park your boat, and they had a gas dock. They sold a lot of gas, and they had a gas dock where they made a lot of money. And they brilliantly, a few years ago, put a soft ice cream machine on the gas dock, and you came and gave me a couple of $1,000s for gas for your boat, and I gave you 2 soft ice cream cones. Good deal. But the ice cream machine had been broken for 2 years, and nobody made one phone call to the repair company to fix the ice cream machine, and their gas sales were down by 30%. 30% fall in sales because nobody made one phone call to a repair guy to fix an ice cream machine. Wow. We have a whole series of business tools, 34 business tools, which are also available on a special website that we have set up just for you. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Now, just as we finish off here, a little word about making the transition in your business for yourself from being a player to being a coach. Because we're talking here about transition, we're talking here about moving forward, about innovation, about what we must become, but what must you become? Who must you become to move your business forward? We don't tend to think about that very much. So how are you making the transition from being a player to being a coach? And our free business tools will help you with that. We also have a free monthly management e-newsletter. And the free monthly management e-newsletter, which are booster shots of ideas to help you sell more, manage smarter, is available for no charge. It's 8 minutes every month to read it. People are kind enough to say it is helpful. And here's how you get all this information. You go to donaldcooper.com. We've created a special website for you, donaldcooper.com, oh, that is the wrong one. It is Copar, donaldcooper.com, Copar 2015. That's what it says on the English version right here. donaldcooper.com, /Copar 2015, and we will send you that. Last little insight. Moving from no to not yet. And my good friend Terry Brock, who is a wonderful technology speaker from America, gave me this little insight, life insight, last year, and it's really changed my thinking. Because he would say to me, because he's a technology guy and I'm not, have you tried this yet? Are you using this technology? And I would keep saying no. And he said, Donald, I want you to switch from no to not yet. Because when an opportunity arises, when some new technology, some new possibility comes along, and we just say no, we close the door. And Terry taught me to move from no to not yet. So whenever he asks me now if I've adopted some new technology, some new possibility in my life and my business, I say, Terry, not yet. Because not yet means I'm going to look into it. So how could you move in your life from no to not yet? There is no finish line. This used to be the Nike slogan, and this is the one I love. They switched to just do it. But this is the original Nike slogan. There is no finish line. This is a journey of success and significance. And I wish you Godspeed on that incredible journey. Thank you very much. Thank you.